Welcome, everyone. I hope you're having a really good day. And welcome to the Talkative Thursday. This is the first episode for Time to Move. And today we're going to talk about volunteering. So, first of all, I would like to introduce who we are. I'm Carmen. I'm from Eurodesk Processing. And at Eurodesk, what we do is to provide information about mobility opportunities for young people and mobility programs. And one of these kind of programs are uh, those ones based on volunteering. Well, just for you to know, during October, we are in Time to Move campaign. And to show you a bit what's this campaign about, I will share a script for a moment. Perfect. So this is the Time to Move. You can enter the website. It's translated to 26 languages, so probably it's also in yours. And here you have some information about the events that are close to you, because there are some activities happening all over Europe. And I really recommend you to go to the map and to check what's going on. And most of them are during these weeks and during the month of October. Also, you can join through different ways, because we also have a social media challenge in which you can win some goodies. Then it's really easy. You can go to our Instagram page and check what we're doing. Also, you can play one of our online escape games. Join this Talkative Thursday series, in which we will provide you information about different topics. uh, Today is volunteering, but next one will be about being active, learning abroad or working abroad. They are the upcoming ones. And also you will get any other information. And for those that are into design or want to submit their designs, we also have a t-shirt design contest. And I really encourage you to join, because there are different kind of prizes. It's really interesting. And the vote is public. You can win. You can be part of next year's Peace Watch for Time to Move, but also win some different prizes, like, I don't know, some headphones, some interrail ticket. It depends on your participation. So that's it for Time to Move, and I would like to introduce you to Salome. She's from Eurodesk, Georgia, and she.
Hi,
Hello, Salome.
hi,
And
Carmen.
she will be with you today,
Yeah,
introducing the topic of
yeah.
volunteering.
Volunteer abroad. Okay, thank you, Carmen, so much. Thank you for your introduction and presenting Eurodesk and amazing time to move campaign, which runs always in October. And I think it's a great moment to join and also boost your creativity, because there's a lot of contests like about to show up and to try to really maybe try new skills or learn how to design a t-shirt. Who knows? So I'm Salome, representing Eurodesk Georgia. I'm here national coordinator over the year so far, and we joined the network 2021 as a country. As you know, the Eurodesk cooperates in all over the countries in Europe and beyond. Actually, it's for now it's covering 36 countries, and basically you can find in your, maybe you have the multiplier in your city, you never know. So it's easy to also search the organization on the Eurodesk map webpage. So it's quite easy to search, and maybe you can get the local consultation, all the kind of the information about the mobility abroad when it comes to learning, volunteering, trainship, grants. So it's amazing to really get the easiest access to all of this kind of the information. So through the and from the mobility experts, as we are as a coordinator. So, and not only, of course. So today we are going to talk about my favorite part, which is volunteering, because I myself, I think I use all the opportunities that was possible to get from the Erasmus Plus, but especially I started with European, back then it was called European Voluntary Service, and now it's called European Solidarity Corps, which is upgraded, and it includes very much different activities, and it also includes the humanitarian part as well. For now, we will have we will also not will not only talk about European Solidarity Corps, but we will also have the volunteer former volunteers, if I'm not mistaken, or maybe ongoing, because we will also talk about Interreg voluntary use and volunteering camps. So it is amazing that we have the participants and volunteers from these respective programs. And before I'll move to my guests and our guests, have you ever maybe thought about, but you're here that you're already thinking about volunteering projects or services and so on and so forth. But so far, how do you think, what is more or less volunteering? Maybe you have more in-depth knowledge. If you'd like to raise your hands and quickly tell me how, or maybe you can also write anything in the chat. What is volunteering kind of a thing that you are willing to do actually? So if you have any maybe precise answer, if not, just guessing would be great just to hear one or two. If uh, if not, it's also okay. But surely would be great. Uh, okay, it's or you just directly can open your mic, but okay, it's maybe I'll do the few waiting moments, but in general, just volunteering is the kind of the action when you are not per se paid for your service or for your work, but you gain different kind of benefits. It can be your work experience, other related skills, because you are able to work with the usually international teams, and you can get actually the first kind of the experience in your life, maybe working at the office or working at the camps or working any kind of the community, developing the work of the organization, of work of the project. So it's kind of the I would say amazing moments to also you be usually paid in a way that it's covered. When it comes to solidarity core projects, it's usually covered, not usually, always covered, your everything, all the expenses that you might need, starting from your traveling tickets, ending to your like flat or pocket money. So it is just amazing moments to really try it and try to meet people all over the world and experience living alone abroad. So it's I think the perfect moment. Also, it's not that much hard to apply, but all these kind of the questions and all these kind of details we'll be talking about with our dear guests. I'll start with Hadil and Diana, who are actually right now doing their voluntary service solidarity core project in Italy. So it's amazing that we will be hearing from them actually from the actual moment. So hello. Once again, and please tell us how was your journey so far? So how did you find about the project? Was it hard to apply? And how is going so far?
Hello, I am Hadil. First, I'd like to introduce myself. I'm from Jordan, and I came here to Italy 4 months ago. We're doing European Solidarity Corps for 8 months, so like we're on our halfway. um, so far, it's been great, and it was always like. It was always like a dream for me to visit Italy. So I'm visiting Italy, but at the same time, it feels so good that I am achieving something. Like I'm doing something good, and at the same time, I'm enjoying my time a lot. The experience is a life changing, to be honest. Um, I don't feel like I'm the same person anymore, but in a good way, of course. Because like it's very challenging. At the same time, it's very interesting. You discover more about yourself than the place you are. So this is what I found like the most interesting. That I also discover new things in me, and I became a better version of myself, and
Great.
it's very good to the amount I really now consider like finding another opportunity or maybe a job. It encouraged me to look forward living in Europe and doing more volunteering. So for
And
me,
how did you find the information? So, Hadi, for jumping in, how did you find the information from the beginning?
I was really interested in the volunteering and doing Erasmus. So I had an idea before because I did Erasmus projects, but the short terms
Mm-hmm.
in my country and like via organizations in my country. So my sending organization suggested me this opportunity, and then I checked on the website, and I found the opportunity. I applied, and yeah, that's it.
Okay, great. Use portal, I guess, right?
Yes, of course. Yeah.
Where are all the projects of European Solidarity Corps are
Yeah.
available, and you can check there. Amazing. Maybe we also hear from Diana. Hi, you can also tell us your journey.
Yes, hi. I'm also gonna do a short introduction. I'm Diana. I'm 20 years old, and I'm from Sweden, but I did my childhood in Spain. And I discovered this because after my graduation, I wanted to do a gap year before starting the university, and I really wanted to travel. And because of social media, I found about the European Solidarity Corps, and I started to get more informed. And I visited the page, and Italy was always in my plans to visit, so that's why I decided to apply here. And actually, I'm really happy that I did because my parents, they also love to travel, and they told me about doing their own travel experience, and I wanted to do that too. To
Great.
And I think it's really good. You grow personally, like you became more independent, and I learned a lot in the process. Like I've been here for 4 months, and as Hadio said, like you became a different person in a good way.
And was it easy to apply and take part? Like, was it easy to find your preferred project?
For me, I was a little bit indecisive, so it took some time for me because there's a lot of opportunities. That's what I like about it. Like you can choose about everything. And the one I'm doing with Avis Lambordia, it's the one I was more interested in because it's about social media, social management, and I found that really interested. So that's why I decided, but it took time to decide because they have
Yeah, so
different
because there's a lot of things, but you always wanted to go to Italy, so it was already your specific target. So it was already easy for you to, not easy, I mean, just when you already know more or less location, you always target this area. Okay, great. And then, so in the end, what would be some kind of a tips that you and recommendations that you can tell us now for the future volunteers, what they need to take into their consideration before they decide to search projects and apply them?
I will say, like, don't be afraid for applying and for asking questions. If you have any doubts, like, they usually people are really nice when they contact, and when you have to do like a little talk about the motivation. It's really important. And yeah, also like, don't be don't be scared. Just do it to do it.
For me, I would say that this experience would like let you gain the skills that you'd never gain in a normal school or university, because the soft skills that you gain are very different than the ones you learn in formal education. So it's very interesting that you'd never gain the same experience um, unless you
Yeah.
do the volunteering.
So, you both of you reached out to your organization, like in your city, right? Is it true? So you always need someone like an organization to help you with, because you need a sending organization and receiving organization. So we also should mention this. and everything is covered as I already mentioned. And yeah, it's amazing that you're learning so much from this experience. Very good. I'll move to Angelo now, who represents Interact Volunteering Youth as a former volunteer or ongoing volunteer. I don't know. So, Angelo, please open your mic and feel free to uh, start the conversation as I share your background, how you started with volunteering this project, and how is this journey with when it comes to the Interact projects.
Thank you, Salome, and hi everyone. So I'm Angelo, and I'm 25 years old. I'm French and Italian, and I studied international and European law. And I will present you the IV program. So IV stands for Interreg Volunteer Youth, and it was created in 2017, and basically it allows young people, so from 18 to 30 years old, to get involved in the European cooperation and in the framework of the Interreg program, which is an EU policy for the cooperation, like cross-border cooperation or transnational cooperation between European countries. Basically, I've discovered this opportunity when I did my internship in Lyon, so in the region Auvergne-Rhône-Alpes in the southeast of France. And the region was the managing authority of the Alcotra program, which is the program dealing with the cooperation between France and Italy. And there was another IV volunteer. So that's how I discovered this opportunity. And when I finished my internship, I've applied to an IV position, which was based in Bordeaux, so in the southwest of France, in the region Nouvelle-Aquitaine. And this region was dealing with the program Interreg POCTEFA, which is the cooperation between France, Spain, and Andorra, and the Interreg program Atlantic area, involving the countries, the European countries bordering the Atlantic, such as Spain, France, Portugal, and Ireland. And it was like a 6 months experience, which was very interesting. Basically, my missions were like to communicate on this program, to speak about the project finance in the program. We created a catalog presenting all the different project finance in different fields, such as in the environment, the professional skills in different fields.
Okay. And can you tell us about how is it like the financial part and funding part of IV projects?
Yeah, I was like covered on a fixed price of 32 euros per day.
Is your pocket money, or also, I don't know, you're maybe also flats and the accommodation is also covered, or also your flight tickets? How does it work?
I receive like some money for the travel. And yeah, the accommodation was covered by this amount of money that I receive every month. And overall, I was paid something like 900 euros per month, more or less. And yeah.
Okay, so I mean, basically, it's also when it comes to as well to African Solidarity Corps, so it's also very much funded, and it's good that you can receive this kind of support. And as I understand, you were working for the organization, so your work was kind of the office work style, right?
Yeah, for the regional council. And
but is there any other kind of the projects, like for example, when it comes to European Solidarity Corps, you can choose also to work maybe at school or maybe youth centers? Is there also different areas that you can find the projects?
Yeah, basically there are like two types of IV volunteering. Mine was to work in the regional organization, but it's possible to work for the project, like concretely. Like it can be, I don't know, in university, in I don't know, like a
Yeah, so
association, but you can work for the project in different fields.
and it's always you need to check the web page, right? Interact Volunteering Youth web
Yeah,
page, right?
y-
It is.
yes, there is a like the website where they publish all the different um, applications, um, and it's
Yeah.
regularly like updated. There are positions all around Europe and even in countries which are not in the EU.
And
So
is it possible to also, while like, so do you need to have the organization who will send you or and receiving organization, and you just directly can approach to the organization who is opening, who has this position opened already, and you can apply directly there? How does it work?
no, you have to apply it on the website.
Yeah,
And
so you don't need another organization from your maybe city to help you with the
no,
applying process or something.
no, basically for myself, I applied on the website for like this position. And first of all, the IV team like select a few candidates that they propose to the organization, and then I had like an interview with the organization.
Okay. So
It was
there's
like,
the IB team and then the organization. So
yes,
the first are the team. Okay, who are the choosing you, and then it goes to the actual organization with whom you are targeting to work with, right?
yes, there is like
Okay.
two steps, but it was very quick because I think I applied in November. I had the interview in December, and I start the volunteering
Great.
in January. So yeah, it was quite,
Amazing.
yeah. And overall, like the
Mhm.
experience was great. Like I had the
Great.
opportunity to practice languages because I spoke French, English, and Spanish on a daily basis. It was a great professional experience, like in the field of the European cooperation. And also in terms of networking, I had the opportunity to meet many representatives of different territories. So yeah, it was like
Great.
very interesting.
Would you like to say any kind of a tips or recommendations for the future volunteers of the program? What would you
Yeah,
recommend them?
yeah, sure. I mean, if you want to work like for the cooperation, just don't hesitate to apply, because there are many positions that are open in many European countries. For myself, I stay in my country, but it's also possible to travel and go to other countries. So I think overall it's a great opportunity
Great.
to choose.
And so you need to choose also, like you need to fill out the CV and the motivation letter, right? You need to submit this kind of a.
Yes, there are some information to fulfill.
Mhm, mhm,
And I think, yeah, to post a resume and like a short text to explain your motivation, but it's
mhm.
very quick process. Like it's not as long as
Yeah, hard.
other European position or yeah.
Oh, of course. Yeah, it's not a yeah, the same is for the European Solidarity Corps as well. You need to fill out then send the CV and small motivation letter, like just to or organizations they have their own application forms and you need to fill that out. Thank you, Angela, for your very much informative parts. And then I'm moving to Michaela, who volunteered for volunteering camps and who will share with us how this program works. Feel free to open your mic as I see you already did. So,
Hi, I'm Michela. I'm 18 years old from Italy. And for me, a really important thing is to travel. And so this summer, I wanted to travel around the world. And so I started asking myself which was the best way to travel. And then a friend of mine, who is a little bit older than me, told me that when he was my age, twice did this volunteering experience, and it was really great and amazing. And so suggested me to do the same experience, and so gave me the name of the website. And then I started researching which was the best volunteering camp for me. And so I decided to go to Spain for 2 weeks. And my job was in a botanical garden, and we were a group of 20 people that had to work there in the mornings, and we had to do 3 things. So we were divided into 3 groups, and we exchanged every morning. So we had to carry the soil from a part of the botanical garden to another in order to make the plants grow faster. Then another work was to take care about flowers and plants, and so in this way I had the possibility to discover more about nature. And then the other work was to create steps. And I really enjoyed this volunteering camp, not only for the work, but because it made me more independent, and I met like amazing people, because the most of them were from Spain, but they were very kind because they tried not to speak Spanish but English in order to make me feel included in the conversation. And so yes, I really enjoyed this experience because I like meet new cultures. And so I think that with this experience, I had the opportunity to do it. And then I feel I am more independent now because I was alone away from my house for 2 weeks. And so I had to take care about myself, and it was really great.
Thank you so much, Miguel. And meantime, I was sharing the web pages in the chat. Thank you, Angel, that you also shared. I hope I shared the correct one because I also shared the link, and I was about to share European Youth Portal website. So basically, this program is about to volunteer in the camps in the different kinds, right? And then it's up to you to choose which one you prefer to go. And how is this application
Yes.
process? Like, is it what is do you need to pay for it, right? As I like pay for maybe traveling costs, and is there anything that is covered, like maybe accommodation?
No, it's completely free. So you only have to pay for the subscribe on the site, but then the accommodation is completely free, and also the food. So you don't have to pay nothing. And it's quite easy to apply because you have to choose the country, and then the period, if you want to do a long-term experience or a short-term, as I did. And then you also have the possibility to choose the type of work you would like to do.
Yeah. And it's so nice. So basically, you don't need to pay that much. And once you choose, like, how is the application process going? How long you need to wait the answer, and what do you need to send?
So basically things like your name and this stuff, and then a short text in which you explain why you want to apply for this experience. But it's really short. You don't have to write much.
Okay, and then directly the organization will contact to you, right?
Yes.
Yes, and then so what is the maximum period that you can do? Like from you can do either 2 weeks or maybe 1 month, or I know a year.
Yes, it's starting from 2 weeks for like 1 year, I think.
Okay. So far, what would be your recommendation tips for the future participants?
Not to be afraid to do it, because I was really kind of scared because I was completely alone and I didn't know what to expect from this experience. But as soon as I got to the place, I started feeling really good because all of the people I was with. So I think you just have to do it, because you really grow up as a person, as a more independent person.
Great, amazing. Thank you, Michaela, for your introduction of this. I didn't know actually much about this opportunity, but it's so nice to have it, because there is Workaway webpage, which is, I think, the more or less the same. So you basically need to choose this kind of camps or farms, and you just go there. And I think it's just amazing to do it during the summer, or maybe if you love winter as well, because I'm more summer lover. So for now, I think we listened all the three opportunities that we were planning to talk about today. If there's any question that you wish to ask, or you can either directly open your mic and feel free to ask these questions, or you can write the question into the chat. Okay, we have one question already. I would like to ask if there is an age restrictions for the camp volunteering. Yeah, it's a good question actually. It's Michaela, is there any age limit, like you can do from 18 till 30, or it's how is it?
It depends, but it's from 18 to 30. But there are other experiences that are from 18 to 60. So
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, when it comes to the I think this kind of a camps not should be that much restricted, because it's a kind of yeah, amazing. Any questions so far? Any more questions? Because I know that I need to save the time for Grazia, because we will see very interesting video now about the opportunities about the Eurodesk Opportunity Finder, which is the area basically that you can explore more projects and opportunities which will be which are available for young people, and not only in overseas, in Europe. And it's just good to have the knowledge about it. So who is going to apply directly to the new voluntary experience? When would you have to apply if you want to participate in a camp volunteering during summer? Okay, Michaela, I think this volunteering camps is so exciting. For when you need to apply, like how early someone needs to apply in order to do their volunteering in summer?
I applied 2 months earlier.
2 months, only 2 months. Wow.
Yeah, no, it wasn't really. Yes, it was really fast, because you only have to send your application and then they will contact you. So, but it depends, because some experiences have only have a 5 person that can go. And so when you see all the opportunities, if there are only 2 or 3 available person that can go, you have to move quickly, because then they will finish.
So you need to be quick as well. So you
Yes.
how much is the subscription fee of for this web page?
It's 100 euros. Yeah.
And then okay, 100 euros, and then you guaranteed that you'll find a project and then travel there. Okay, nice.
Yes.
I think, but it is a year subscription, right? You still have the other opportunities to use if you want more.
I don't know if you have to pay for every experience. I don't know this.
No, not for every experience, but like it should be the year-long subscription, something like that, because usually it's like that.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, great. Hi, Grazia.
Hi, Salome. Hi, nice to meet you, all of you. Hi. So maybe we can show the video now. Before showing the video, to introduce you the Opportunity Finder, the Eurodesk Opportunity Finder. So we had the pleasure to have some volunteers, former volunteers, that had the chance to participate. And we are aware that very often it's very difficult to find this information, or either because there is too much information and we don't know which one we can rely on, or because the information is hidden, so we are not aware that we can participate. So at Eurodesk Brussels Link, our mission is to provide information. We have created a website really where we store all this information. It is called Eurodesk Opportunity Finder. Now I can share with you our screen. Okay. No, I think it's the other one.
Meantime, this will be fixed. So here we have the question about the tips for the motivation letter for the organization. So it's always good to write the motivation letter and represent yourself not in the manner as it's listed in your CV. Like you have the information in your CV or resume, so you don't need to copy and just repeat this kind of experiences. So for example, I was studying here and there, I graduated in this year. You just keep that part and you try to represent yourself in a way that you need to focus on your skills and abilities, like what you know so far and what you would like to gain throughout this experience. For example, if you are applying for the organization where you're going to do kind of the project management kind of tasks, your motivation should be shown as you like these kind of skills. Maybe you never experienced ever working at the office in this kind of a direction, and you would like to experience working with a team, working with some kind of the specific projects, and why you wish to gain this experience. But meantime, you may say that as you had this kind of experience at school, for example, maybe you attended or you organized a local a school conference at school, or you may did some kind of community small activities. You would like to say, and you have to mention actually that, oh, you've done that, and from this kind of experience you wish to move forward and get more professional experience, or any kind of you can kind of fix and like switch and tweak all these kind of the things, and try not to over how to say, not to be too much while describing yourself, like not to be just say that, oh, I'm too cool in everything. You should like balance your motivation, and not also to say that, oh, I know nothing or I'm desperate. So it's always a balancing your ideas and things. But also it's good to also show it into the motivation letter that you've learned about the organization, and you read a bit about their activities and in which way you would like to contribute there. So it's also good to show this. Yeah, Katia, I hope I'm not too
cool.
Yeah.
That's very interesting to receive these feedbacks, because this is something that we always receive as well on the inquiries. So when we have young people asking what to do, what to write, so it's very interesting. So coming back to the Opportunity Finder, Salome already shared with you the link. So as you can see, the Opportunity Finder is really a storage of opportunities in 5 main areas. So you will have the ones on learning, on volunteering, for internships, for ways to participate, like in contests, competitions, so surveys. And then, of course, we also have a section for grants, because there are some youth-led projects that can receive grants in order to implement your projects. In this case, today we are having a session on volunteering, so I really invite you to have a look at the volunteering page, where you can find different opportunities going from the main programs like the Solidarity Corps, the Humanitarian Aid, the Interreg, the work camps, and so many others. And now I leave the floor to Salome to share as well a video where we presented some of the main programs for volunteering. And I wish you all the best and good luck with the videos. Bye-bye.
Ever considered volunteering in your country or abroad? It's an incredible way to make a difference, gain experience, make new friends, and boost your confidence. Numerous funding programs are available to ensure the best possible volunteering experience, and they are available to everyone, whatever your background or skills. All these programs have one thing in common. They are your ticket to making a real impact while having an unforgettable experience. Remember, every act of volunteering, big or small, can create a positive change. Let's explore some of these opportunities. European Solidarity Corps volunteering project. The European Solidarity Corps is a EU program that supports international volunteering projects in a broad range of fields. If you are between 18 and 30, volunteering projects take place across Europe. You can go on your own from 2 weeks to 1 year, or as part of a group of volunteers for projects lasting from 2 weeks to 2 months. Everything is taken care of, from travel arrangements to food, insurance, language training, and expenses related to special needs. If you want to learn more about the program, check the European Youth Portal and contact your national agency. European Solidarity Corps Humanitarian Aid. For adventurous souls between 18 and 35, you can take part in humanitarian aid to help communities affected by disasters outside the EU. You can go on your own from 2 months up to 12 months, or as part of a group of volunteers for projects lasting from 2 weeks to 2 months. Your travel arrangements, accommodation, insurance will be taken care of. You will also have to take part in a training ahead of the placement. If you want to learn more about the program, check out the European Youth Portal and do not hesitate to contact us. International work camps. International work camps are available to volunteers as young as 14 years old, but parental consent is required for minors. These camps consist of volunteers from different countries who work together for 2 to 8 weeks on projects that benefit local communities. The projects can range from building schools to environmental conservation efforts and can take place anywhere in the world. Each project is different in terms of practical arrangements, such as food and accommodation, pocket money, health insurance, travel costs. Usually, you will have to pay a fee. You can find links to the main organizations offering work camps on the Eurodesk Opportunity Finder, Interreg Volunteer Youth Program. If you are aged 18 to 30, you can join the Interreg Volunteer Youth Program, which supports solidarity actions between Europe and its neighboring regions. This program gives you 2 options of participation. You can volunteer as an Interreg reporter who promotes the benefits of territorial integration by reporting on successful Interreg projects, or as a project partner who supports the implementation of Interreg projects, focusing on areas like solidarity, people-to-people cooperation, health, community development, and other social dimensions of cross-border cooperation. Your volunteering will last between 2 and 6 months, and you will receive training, financial support for food, accommodation, travel costs, and insurance. So, what are you waiting for? Visit the Eurodesk Opportunity Finder for more information on all these programs and to discover many others. Get in touch with Eurodesk officers in your area. They will help you find the programs that will work for you. And finally, you should also check the European Youth Portal. That's where the European Commission shares in-depth information on volunteering in Europe, especially through the European Solidarity Corps.
Amazing video, very informative. I think it's a good kind of the sum up part of our session, because it's kind of a gather all the essential information that you need to know from the very beginning. Yeah, basically, I think we reached in the moment when we spoke about everything. It's a last chance to kind of ask maybe final questions from actual beneficiaries of these projects, because it's always, I think, best to know from the ones who been through all these stages, all the experiences, and it's good to get these hands-on first experiences and knowledge from these people that we have with us today. If not, maybe you so you know the mail of the Eurodesk. Also, you can write directly to their Instagram or Facebook pages, and approach for any additional support that you may need. I will also quickly share here the Europass CV standard, which is you would need it while applying for the European Solidarity Core projects. Usually you'd have to have your CV designed through this webpage, and it's actually very good because it's online platform, super easy to build your CV, and they have their own designs. You need to log in or create your own account, and it's very good to have it also to share and search actually other opportunities. Europass is good, but it's not essential for Interreg, I guess, and also not for the working camps, because I think they have more different direction there. So yeah. Okay, should we wrap up? Thank you so much for your time, for being here with us so far, so long. Thanks to the volunteers, former volunteers, ongoing volunteers, and future volunteers. I hope this meeting will be very good and motivational spark. And what are you waiting for? It's time to apply for sure. Yeah, good luck. Enjoy your day, and I hope the next time you will be the ones we will kind of invite as a guest.